All right, hey, I just wanted to check in because I finally read another book, and that book is The Nightingale by Kristin. Um, this is a fantastic book. I will get that out of the way right away. It is a very, very sad book, but it's fantastic. It also may be the book to have pulled me out of my reading slump, which is really nice. I have very clearly been in a reading slump lately, and this struck a different chord with me. One of my coworkers at my new job recommended this to me. She said it was super sad, and she was not lying. Sorry if the camera keeps moving around. I'm still having to. My front-facing camera is still cracked, so I'm having to use this little thing to mirror my screen to, so I can use my rear camera and see what's going on still. So I'm still getting used to that. I've only, I think, made 1 or 2 videos with this thing so far, so. Anyway, let me actually get into the book now. This is set in World War II. This is a historical fiction about 2 sisters in France who are trying to survive during World War II times. The older sister, her name is Vianne, I think it's Vianne. She, earlier on in life, had kind of separated herself from the family. She had a kid with a guy that she was in love with, and they moved away. They were doing her own thing. The younger sister, Isabel, she was living with her father, and she was kind of a trouble child in school and stuff, and she clearly has a rebellious personality type. World War II happens, it starts, it doesn't happen yet, but it starts, and Isabel is sent to go find her sister and live with her sister during wartime. And especially in the early parts of the book, the father really comes off kind of as like an asshole. He's not, he's probably looking out for his daughters, but he just doesn't come across that way. He's not a very loving father, I guess I should say. Well, the Germans are starting to come into France, and that's when obviously the surrender happens. Isabel's sent to live with her sister. Her sister, Vianne, her husband was just taken kind of as a military prisoner of sorts, and it leaves the 2 sisters and Vianne's daughter Sophie. They are all together, and there's already a strange dynamic between the sisters. The older sister Vianne, she just wants to protect her family. She just wants Sophie to be safe. She wants her home to be safe. It makes sense, but because of that, she kind of goes along with what the Nazis are saying, that she doesn't really have a strong urge to fight back. Meanwhile, Isabel is the opposite. She was already a rebellious child, and she wants to fight against the Nazis. So she joins the rebellion, where she's handing out flyers, essentially, of what's really happening, and not what the Nazi propaganda is saying is happening. And so there's that cool dynamic between the 2 sisters throughout this book. You kind of get to see both sides of where mindsets may have been during the war. And the rebellion goes a little bit deeper as time goes on. This book takes place from the beginning of the war all the way to the end of the war. While Isabel is living with her sister, though, a Nazi officer decides to take up a room in their house. And they can't say no, because they'll just be most likely imprisoned because they're women, or sent to a concentration camp, or just kicked out of the house. I mean, you can't say no to a Nazi officer, I guess. So there's a Nazi officer, his name is Beck, living with them, and there's some drama that goes on with Beck, and Isabel has kind of a love interest throughout the book as well. So there's kind of like that romance perspective as well. I should mention also, Vianne is a teacher at the local school, and at one point, the officer that is living with them has her write down names of all of the Jews that she knows of, and she writes down her friend's name that is a Jew that works at the school with her. So that kind of gives you a perspective of kind of where Vianne's mindset is throughout this. But it's also hard to blame her because she's just trying to protect her family. It's sad. It's just sad. This whole thing is just sad. From start to end, it's sad. But it's very good. It is very good. I think it's like 600 pages. Um, it's well worth the read. I know this is a popular book. I know Kristin Hanna is a popular author. I didn't really know a whole lot about her before reading this, but I think I'm going to read some of her other books after reading this. Um, I enjoyed it immensely. I don't have a whole lot more to say without giving away spoilers of what goes on, but there's a lot of cool relationship dynamics in this book. Cool. There's a lot of relationship dynamics in this book that are very interesting, and it's well worth the read. I enjoyed it immensely, so there's that. I'm going to try to be reading more often now. I'm really getting in the mood to read again. Maybe it's the cooler weather as well. Maybe it's having somebody at work to talk to about books. I'm not sure. But I am feeling more motivated to read recently. I hadn't been reading very much lately, so I did pick up some horror books for October. And I'm very excited to read those. I will probably be doing a little book haul at the end of this month, where I also do a monthly wrap up, which is just actually this book, and I'm going to talk about the one book I read last month as well, and then do a little book haul. So that's the loose plans going forward. I might be picking up a couple more books this weekend, but I'm gonna try to get more in the reading spirit now. So anyways, I appreciate y'all for sticking around this long. I'm sorry if this was a little everywhere. It's been about a month since I've recorded a video last, and it's hard to get back into the headspace of recording a video for me. So anyways, I appreciate y'all for sticking around this long, and thanks.